Welcome to the Eutaw Street Banter podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode here on the Eutaw Street Banter podcast. This week we have a great episode here. We did a collaboration with the Drunks on the Pond podcast. Rich and Jay welcomed us into their world, and we had a great time. Me and Elijah had a great time, and we hope you enjoy the podcast. And we will be putting out another great episode next week, and we can't wait to see you then. Until then, enjoy the show.
Welcome, everyone, to a very special episode of Drunks on the Pond. We're taking a trip just under 2 hours down 95 to our south. We have Oriole Park at Camden Yards. The Phillies and Orioles, two storied franchises with a rich history. Not me, a rich history. Hall of Famers, two intensely dedicated fan bases. Funnily enough, the similarities aren't just the people. Memorial Park is the former branch these black and orange birds stood on. Veterans Stadium, home to the stomping grounds of the behemoth green flightless bird from the Galapagos Islands, the Fanatic. Also, didn't know this, they both debuted a year apart. Yeah, fun fact. The Oriole Bird, debuting in 79, and the Phillies, Fanatic, in 78. Enough about those birds. Today, Jay and I are joined by two bird lovers from Eutaw Street Banter podcast, Cody and Elijah. They're dedicated O's fans. We here at Drunks on the Pond share a sadness with how our season's ended in 24. Well, both duos teams having a young core and a veteran presence on their rosters. Let's get into this meeting of the minds. Spit some seeds, throw back a few beers. You know I will. Welcome to the show, Eutaw Street Banter. You're in the middle of the pond now, trying to swim with the drunks. Be sure to like, follow, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And mainly comment how much fun you're having and how dumb we are. That's fine. Jay, start the show off. As always, stay drunk.
Cheers. Here we go. Drunks on the Pond bonus episode, as Rich put it. We are here with Eutaw Street Banter, home of your Baltimore Orioles that share a similar collapse of the playoffs. But I mean, I don't want to speak for them, so I'll ask you boys, how you feeling after your performance in 2024?
Well, I know awful, but optimistic, I guess, I'll try to be as nice about it, optimistic, but awful. You know, we got our butts kicked. That was, without a question of a doubt, a terrible series. Me and Cody were at the first game. Corbin Burns went out, shoved, and couldn't hit the ball to save our lives. Game 2, Cedric Mullins was the only offense. When you don't hit the ball, you don't win. I know a lot of people say, well, defense is offense or good pitching wins championships. Well, you got to hit the ball. That's the basic of the failure right there. But it's just, we have optimism. We have some good prospects that are looking to come up. I like the team as it is now. I just hope we can actually come out and remember how to hit the ball and not fall off in August again like we did last year.
More prospects?
More prospects? Yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah, there's this guy, Cody can never pronounce his last name, Samuel Basayo. Who he's looking pretty good. So
he's like Smith, I'd be good.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have already one of the best catchers in the game, so they figure we might as well throw another one of them back there.
Hey. Your catcher took best catcher from our catcher, so it's fine.
That's true. You know, I'm a big JT fan.
Oh yeah. JT and me too, one of the best catchers in baseball. Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah, it just sucks he plays for the Phillies. You know, I just messed up.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. It's going to get hostile.
I'm kidding.
He might still be on the Marlins.
Hey,
yeah,
Jay, be careful. Jay, be careful. I watched The Wire. I know how these guys go.
Yeah. We made 2 phone calls, man. 2 phone calls. Yeah. No, I'm just messing. But no,
but it's fine. They won't make episode 2, so it's fine.
Like, I'll be honest, and I had mentioned it before we started recording. Watching that series when you guys played the Royals, I genuinely could not believe that it looked like it was just Cedric Mullins out there by himself, and then like, I was really hoping to see Adley come out and, like, show something, but it just, like I said, it looked like you guys dressed one player, and that was it.
And
Yeah, I think
it was the player that you guys deem expendable.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, I think the worst part is, like, Henderson and Mountcastle struck out 4 out of 7 times. Gunnar Henderson, the shorts, what's the MLB Network put as number 1 shortstop in all of baseball. Struck out 4 out of 7 times. But you know what? I hate to say this because we sound like Debbie Downers. Is me and Elijah are sitting there, and along with all of us other Orioles fans, and you're not shocked. You're just like, seems about right. Seems about right. When you live the Oriole life, you're just waiting for something to go wrong. You have one of the best pitchers in baseball on the mound doing what he does, gives up 1 run. It sounds like when you look at how many runs were scored against us in the whole series, the whole 2 games, we lost 3-0 in 2 games. The whole issue is, we scored nothing.
Yeah.
So,
like, that's the craziest thing to me is that, like, both games were so low scoring that it felt like if you guys just had a runner on at some point and hit a home run, it was like, okay, it's like we immediately have a game, and it just
Are you kidding me? If you had a runner on and hit a home run, you would have won the game.
Yeah,
you had taken the lead.
You're right. We don't have a game. You won the game.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, the Royals had such a terrible offense to be a playoff team, and we somehow
no. They were the same as you. They had 1 player.
That's true. Yeah,
and that 1 player should have won MVP.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, because I remember it was the game that we were at. The whole time I was just saying, you can't let Bobby Witt beat you. They have no one else. You can't let him be the one to beat you. And it was
Sally's a shadow of his former self.
Exactly. Vinny Pasquantino, he's okay, but he's still. I mean, he's not Bobby Witt Jr.
Well, that was his first game back too, Elijah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he just came off of injury, and
Lil Green.
There was someone got on base, and Corbin Burns' one weakness is that he cannot hold runners. They will run all day on him. Stole second base, and Bobby Witt Jr. hit the ball. That's all it took. He put the ball in play.
Corbin's been that way since Milwaukee.
Oh yeah, no, that makes me mad when a pitcher can't figure out how to keep runners from stealing.
But see, it's in this day and age. I want to see if you guys will agree with this. Is it that a pitcher can't, or they just don't give a shit?
I think it's more the second one, definitely. Because, I mean, Corbin Burns, I think he knows his stuff is good. If he has 3 stolen bases on him in a game, he's still going to get the $100-some million paycheck at the end of the year, no matter what.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that kind of leads me to a question. Like, obviously, Corbin Burns ultimately chose to go down to Arizona, sign with the Diamondbacks. Was there any news of you guys offering him another contract, or was this just kind of like a 1 year? It's like, yeah, thanks for your help. And
I mean, it definitely seemed like there was talks, but no numbers were ever thrown around. Nothing during the season about re-signing him. I mean, do you blame him though? The Orioles, look at the money they've given out. Why would you sit down too much with them before the season before you get some numbers thrown at you by the other teams? And it just seemed like a thing. He's an Arizona guy. That's where he's from. It could have been a thing this whole time. He knew where he was going to go. I mean, he had twins born during the season. So it could be the time that he goes and he lives in the desert for the rest of his life. Who knows?
Like, cause I was scrolling through the, Orioles starting rotation, just being like, okay, you're going into the season without Burns, who are we really looking at? And I was like, okay, I immediately recognized two of these guys because they were both former Phillies, and Zach Eflin and Charlie Morton, who you guys just signed this year. And I was like, okay. So the offense, I mean, you guys lost Santander, who's a big bat in any lineup, and you guys are going to have to just try and find those numbers. And I'm assuming Mountcastle, O'Hearn, like, I'm just trying to piece together, like, where do you guys see the numbers coming in for this season?
You want to go ahead and talk, Cody? I feel like I'm talking too much, and I don't want to just keep cutting you off. I see you keep getting ready to talk.
No. This is the life I live. When you got a guy just with stats in his brain, you just let him run. No, I mean, I think the biggest thing is when you're looking at what we were hoping to get for this season, really we're looking at the guys that didn't perform well last season to step through and kind of, move forward. The big one, people are going to think I'm going to say Holiday, but it's not. Adley was rough last year. He really struggled at the plate, and he's too good of a ball player to stay there. So I think the biggest issue you're having is, gosh, I'm a brain fart. Your third baseman,
Boom.
Alex Boom. Okay, has he had ups and downs as you brought him up? He absolutely has ups and downs, right? Well, we got 7 of those. So the issue is we don't have the guy that's like on that consistent path yet. Everybody's still learning, struggling, trying to figure out how to get out of it. And that's the biggest thing that I noticed for us is for us to kind of grow up and then how to get through a whole season and especially the ups and downs. Because the goal is, man, if you can win 3 out of 5 games that you're not supposed to win, you're doing pretty good. Obviously, you're going to lose some games you're supposed to win. But you're hoping that, every time you struggle, we don't just fall down a mountain. And the whole team goes with it, right? But and then obviously I was going to say, and obviously Holiday. We're really hoping Holiday steps up, and which I think he has to. He can't do worse. If he is, he's going to be sent down. And then we have the Mountain King Felix finally coming back as a closer, and finally we're going to get rid of all the recycle bin Philly relievers that when you guys release them, we just pick them up apparently. Yeah, because when you guys, so we live obviously in Delaware. This is Philly area. This is Phillies fans, okay? And when we signed,
as it should be,
but when we signed Kimbrel, they're like, "What are you doing? Like, you guys?" And we're like, "Well, he's not going to be the closer. He's going to help out." And now, and
we said that too.
And I'm like, yeah. So anyway, so. No Orioles fan actually went and looked at Kimbrel going, oh my gosh, look what we got. Now, if we would have signed him like maybe 11 years ago, then I would have freaked out. But,
I don't think anyone would have complained if you would have got him 11 years ago.
But yeah.
So, obviously jumping in, you said you're from Delaware. I'm also a Delawarean, so.
Well, he moved there.
From Delaware.
He moved there. He abandoned his post.
But I'm still here. I'm representing the Phillies down here.
As you should.
But when you guys went and got Craig Kimbrel, I was like, I cannot believe this team did not watch a single Phillies postseason against the Diamondbacks when Kimbrel blew 2 straight games and pretty much got us eliminated.
Right.
He cost us the chance.
And then we traded you guys Sir Anthony Dominguez and Christian Pache. You guys gave us Austin Hayes, who just, I said it in an episode we recorded earlier, but my God, dude, I hate Austin Hayes. That dude put so much damage in my mind for Phillies outfielders that I'm like, if no one ever wears number 9 again and doesn't wear batting gloves, I'm totally fucking cool with it.
I've never seen a player have more belief in his faith and his faith give up on him. Like, he was absolute hot garbage. Like, I think I saw him on base like 4 times. I watched a lot of Phillies games. I think I saw him on base 4 times.
And I'm going to be honest, I think that's one of those that you say, did anyone on the Orioles look at Kimbrel? I couldn't believe we got Sir Anthony Dominguez for Austin Hayes because Austin Hayes was barely playing for us.
Right.
And still struggling in that win role. I think he had I'm not 100% sure, but I think there was some nagging injury coming with him a little bit, but he's getting up there in age a little bit and he's not what he used to be. He's not his former all-star self. And I couldn't believe that we got really any value for him. And I love Austin Hayes. He, as me and Cody refer to it as the dark days of like the 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21 Orioles, where it was just, the name I like to pull out of him that no one ever knows is Richie Martin. Richie Martin played second base and shortstop for us, and I don't know if he should have ever played past college. Yeah. And it's just, and Austin Hayes was one of the highlights of those teams, and he just went downhill real fast. And I felt so bad because I hyped him up to so many Phillies fans that I knew, just saying, look, he's got good value. He's an amazing defender. He's got some speed, a little bit of pop, and it was bad.
Yeah.
He just didn't show up.
Yeah.
Like, because he was hurt.
Yeah.
He wasn't at the stadium.
Right. What the biggest thing with Austin Hayes is he is the typical Orioles player that looked really good when we had really bad teams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And another guy that I love is like Trey Mancini. You know, he looked like a great Oriole.
Oh, yeah.
and then he gets traded away, and he's just an average player. It seems to happen a lot with Orioles players.
Put some respect on World Series champion Trey Mancini.
Oh, he didn't even play, dude.
He did play.
Okay.
Because Yuli Gurriel got hurt.
We're not arguing on somebody else's podcast right now, Alonzo. We're not doing this.
But the big thing is, good story for Mancini. Good. Pull your heartstrings. Good for him.
Right.
Yeah.
Was he worth the time? No. I never thought so. I never thought that he was that type of player that you kept when you built around someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't have much to offer except, what, 2 good seasons?
Yeah. And like Cody said, it was one of those things when everyone else is bad, it makes him look better.
Yeah.
I think it was just, like a good story, and I'll support him till the day I die, because yet again, there's maybe 4 players on some of those teams that I actually enjoyed watching. I mean, I could go on for days listing players that if I saw them in public, I might start screaming at them. And most of them are playing down to like the Caribbean leagues and the Dominican Winter Leagues just because that's all the baseball they got.
There was a time for the Phillies when the Phillies were really bad that like when the off season came around, other teams weren't signing him, but then you would see like 7 alerts from like the Korean Baseball League just takes all of them. And you're like, God damn, dude, we suck. We have no talent on these teams.
Yeah. We're the KBL Phillies.
That's the one guy that I'm surprised.
That's what it was.
Cody hasn't really put in my face about him going to Korea or Japan, one of the two. Is a guy that for some reason he is one of my favorite pitchers for some reason, but I love me some Cole Irvin. And he's going to
Cole Irvin?
He had a good like month or two this year, and I was
another
a Cole
former
Irvin
Phil
supporter. Oh yeah. Yep. Cole Irvin though, he's an interesting one. I always loved him. Cody always hated him. And I tried to defend him the best I could, but it got to a point where it was rough.
I mean, I would like hang out with him, but I don't want to watch him on the field.
Yeah.
Like, he's a good dude.
Not wearing the jersey that you wear.
He's just, yeah. He looked great in a Yankees jersey. Love to see that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, listen, for the most part, like, the Yankees lost Soto, and they went out and got Fried, they went out and got Bellinger, but for the most part, like, it's
other people who are always hurt.
Pretty much the AL East is going to come down to a dogfight between you guys and the Yankees, pretty much, because outside of Crochet, the Red Sox haven't done shit. The Rays have been kind of sitting on their hands. Toronto's trying to get people, but everyone's like, no, I'll go somewhere else. Like,
well, like the thing you have to worry about when going to Toronto is the luxury tax. Well, not the luxury tax. I'm sorry, the country tax that Toronto has. It's going to be a pain in the ass for your contract. And on top of that, who's going to watch you?
Yeah.
Many people are really paying attention.
But, like, okay.
I mean, first thing that comes to mind is that Blue Jays when Bautista hit the home run and that place shook. Listen, I'm not a Blue Jays fan by any means, but that video, I'm like, that's cool regardless, man. You can't take that from me.
I get that. I respect that. That's awesome. The big thing that I don't know is, listen, their stadium, relatively full a lot of the times. I don't know what Toronto's viewership is.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody does, because that's an exchange rate and a number system that we don't know because it's metrics. So I don't know if I'm going to believe it if I actually see it. I mean, how can you really take anything seriously coming out of there if there's an economic crisis? Like, some of their money's called the loonie.
Yeah.
How do you take that seriously?
They still have the Queen on their money.
And I think I read in the news that because they're in Canada coming over, I think they're only allowed to play. Trump said they can only play with 7 players. I think that's what they said.
That.
That was the tariff. That was the
that's 7 players, 7 out of 9. Yeah, right field, and third base can't have them.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you're going to have a right fielder, he has to be under 5'6".
I would just take out the left fielder and the right fielder. Just get one man out in the outfield.
Yeah, that's funny.
Could you imagine a barely healthy George Springer hustling around the outfield? God forbid a ball goes down left field line and he's playing in like right center. He's like, shit.
Wait. Did Jay just say, can you imagine a barely healthy George Springer? Yes. We've seen it 6 years.
Well, yeah. But you didn't listen to the rest of it. He's got to hustle like 175 yards to get this ball. Like, the third baseman's going to be like, cut off, man. You get it.
It's still the same hustle he will give on the ground ball 18 feet to his left.
Yeah.
So,
and just to let you know, as an Orioles fan, our mindset would go to, we'd have bases loaded with one outfielder, and we hit a pop-up to wherever that outfielder is.
You would not have to stake a single.
We'd hit it right to him. We'd hit it right to him. We'd lose the game. That's what would happen.
Hit a screaming line drive right
Boom.
to
him. Just,
somehow you'd end the game with 17 infield fly rolls.
yeah, right.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That'd be the one where they'd have some no-name pitcher, and he'd have the game of his life throwing 8 innings with 14 strikeouts.
Yeah.
You mean like that guy a couple years ago, the reliever or starter, converted starter, whose last name was like Big Spinsky?
Yeah.
It started with a C, but it started with an R. All right, dude. Whatever. I'm not buying your jersey.
No. There's nothing that screams danger like a really good team facing a pitcher that has never made a start in the major leagues before. It's like shit. It's like I watched the Phillies play the Astros, and it was Spencer Arrigetti's first start. Or I'm sorry, it wasn't his first start. He had made plenty of them, but he had an ERA like close to 9. And everyone around me is like, "Oh, we're gonna shell this dude," and I'm sitting here like, "We're gonna get no hit by this goddamn team." And what do you know? Up until like the 8th inning, we were getting no hit. I was like, I knew it was coming. I knew it. Luckily, we got a hit, but I was like, my God, dude, the guy's got an ERA close to 8, and we can't even get a hit off him. Come on.
All right.
I can tell you there's only one time from memory where we succeeded on beating the shiitake mushrooms out of someone that legit is a household name in baseball. But it was their first start in the majors. It was Max Scherzer for the Diamondbacks. His major league debut, and I think we won that game like 8-1. Wow. And I was like, I swear, I looked at my buddy, we were at the bar, and I went, dude's going to do nothing. Dude's going to be sent down, and no one will ever remember his name. And I'm like,
he's over there.
Said that.
He's over there. Get contacts, Max. Yeah. But that's how probably a lot of people felt when we would go and Albert Suarez would start for the Orioles last year. People were like, "Who the heck is this?" And my man wins. It does decent for us. But we had a guy. He looked like he was 47 years old. Hopping on the mound.
And you know what? He killed.
Hey, put some respect on the mid-30s. I don't want to hear it. Come on.
Oh, don't trust me. Cody's in his mid-30s, and I make sure I call him old as much as I can. No,
low 30s.
Mid-30s.
33 is not mid-30s. You shut your mouth.
It's closer to mid than 30. It's closer to 35 than 30.
Somebody kick him off. I'm about done with him.
All right.
Well, he's my uncle. I'll make fun of him. 35 isn't old. It's only old for him.
Okay.
He's using that Toronto.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the metric. Yeah, that's funny.
33 is mid. Oh, come on.
Awesome.
Does that mean I'm late 30s? Because I'm 34.
Yeah.
You're definitely late 30s.
Yeah. That was fast. That was quick.
I mean,
facts are facts,
We learned in elementary school, if it's 5 or up, you round up.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
And I'm down. I'm 3. 3 goes to 0. So I'm practically 30.
I'm 1, so yeah, I'm 30.
We're there.
This is great news.
Yeah.
Well, what I can remind Cody just to make him think that, just to make him feel extra old, is I'll just tell him that I was born in 2005. That normally helps knock him down a few pegs.
God damn.
Yeah, we were late 1900s, as they call it.
1900s.
Yeah. Yeah, the late 1900s.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, I was at Yankee Stadium watching Babe Ruth take batting practice, dude.
Yeah.
You're a toddler to me.
That's funny.
Hey. Cody, remember the Walkman?
I do remember the Walkman. Dude, I try to tell kids about when you used to have a CD and they made a little thing that would go around your belt, but you had to be careful walking because if you walked too hard, it'd skip the CD. So, but kids don't know nothing about that. The cool kids, though, had the CD player that didn't skip. That.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't one of those.
The yellow and gray
I was
Sony.
not one of those kids.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And I got the knockoff, which didn't work, So, yeah.
Oh, you got the one from Canada.
Yeah. Kmart. Yeah.
My first job.
The old Kmart blue light special.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Martha said it was great. Martha Stewart's section there.
Yeah, she was really hyping up that one.
Yeah.
Hey,
Sure.
she got out early. It became Kathy Ireland after that. It's just, God, I'm old.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to baseball instead of making me feel super old. All right, so there's definitely some similarities between both of our teams. We both have that young core. Ours is called the daycare. Yours is called everyone looks the same. And it's like, honestly, like you put them in a lineup and anybody's going to go, that white guy.
Yeah.
And
it fits where we're from, right?
Yeah. Baltimore. It makes sense.
Yeah, blonde, blue-eyed.
It's honestly like you guys have some Keebler elves just like manufacturing them in a tree.
Yeah, I think
And
they
they're
just
just
have.
like, all right.
Our scout that covers like the SEC, he's working overtime because every player, they either were in the SEC or committed to the SEC before they get drafted. All of them. And I mean, whether it's Arizona or Mississippi or something, they're finding them down there.
So I know it just happens, and it's something that Jay and I grew up with, and I'm not sure if you guys will even know what it is. I know everyone knows what Groundhog Day is, but I'm talking about like, where the groundhog sees a shadow and all this stuff. It's stupid. I don't get it. There's only one groundhog in the state, and it's for the lottery. But the big thing is, do you think that your guy's number one scout who keeps drafting all of these players who are so similar in looks and talent, because let's face it, they're all kind of the same, and absolutely no fault or negativity towards them. They're all kind of the same. They're all 4.5 tool players in some way, shape, or form, and they all have extremely high upside. They're all young, fast, and like I said, they look the same. Do you think that scout is just Groundhog Day every single draft? And he's like, all right, change to Bill Murray. He's like, I don't want to do this again. That's just the same exact thing every single time.
Well, he definitely got a little bit of a break the other year when they drafted Enrique Bradfield. He was a nice change of pace, but then this past year got right back to it with Drew Honeycutt. I mean, like, I don't know. He's got to be thinking that it's
even the names
now.
are sweet.
Yeah,
Holiday,
got
Honeycutt,
Jackson, Gunner. Yeah,
Mayo.
Yeah, my favorite's Kirsten.
Can be a little sour sometimes, but
I do like Kirsten.
Don't call him
Kirsten's a great last name.
Yeah.
And then you guys got an O'Hearn in there just to spice it up.
Yeah, well, that's what I remember. Was it the playoff? I don't remember if it was the playoff game or one of the last games of the season I went to. They decided to change up all their walk-up songs, and O'Hearn had some like Irish like jig music on that seemed like a leprechaun would be dancing to when he walked up to the plate.
That's called Dropkick Murphys.
Yeah, it definitely fit. We got two. We got O'Hearn and O'Neal. Maybe they can hang out together.
Yeah.
I totally forgot you guys signed Tyler O'Neill the beginning of the off season.
Yeah.
Which I find kind of.
I'm just afraid he's so injury prone.
He is. Like,
I love him, but when he's healthy, he's great.
Like that was one thing that I think was like abundantly clear on Boston too last year was like when Tyler O'Neill's healthy, like he's going to put the ball over the wall. Like the dude swings for straight power, and he's good at it. You can't take that from him. But when he's hurt, it's just like, dude, it's the ultimate killer. But I mean,
I know.
I genuinely hope it works out for him.
Same. I love the guy. I think he's a great talent who just is kind of wrong place, wrong time. Because Jay and I said it in maybe like 12 consecutive episodes to start the season. We're like, oh, Tyler O'Neill now officially has 7 home runs and 7 RBIs. Tyler O'Neill now has 18 home runs and 27 RBIs. And it's like, dude, the guy just only comes up when no one's on. So that's more like the wrong place, wrong time. When you get on or when you come up to the plate and it's like, oh, cool. It's like, I got to do this all alone. And if you look at his numbers from last year, it sure as heck seems like he did it all alone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, putting
I think
30 over the wall.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with the Tyler O'Neill signing by us is, especially, it was really noticeable at the end of the season when during the whole month of September, the book was out on how to beat the Orioles. And it's basically get your starter through 5 and put every left-handed reliever you got against all of our lefties, because Gunnar struggled lefties, Colton Cowser struggled lefties, Santander struggled on the right side of the plate. Jackson Holliday struggled with lefties. O'Hearn obviously can't swing against can't bat against lefties. And Mullins struggles against lefties. So that's what they kept doing. So this year, we've just went out and done just nothing but signed righties. I mean, you got O'Neill, righty, hits lefties, great. We signed Ramon Laureano, hits righties sometimes, but better. So Dylan Carlson, who only can hit righties, I think if there's a lefty out there, he just takes the strikeout and walks away. But it's one of those things where it seems like we just went like, all right, spring training, we're gonna put 17 righties up the bat. We got 3 spots. Who's gonna make it? And but that's kind of been our goal. When you're talking about changing things up, I know you're talking about the scouting side, but you're not wrong where we're so lefty heavy, which is the total opposite of every team, it seems like. Well, the Phillies are a lot. I mean, you got a lot of lefties too.
We have a lot of lefties.
It
baffles us why we still signed Kepler.
Yeah.
There's upside.
I think
why add another lefty?
Yeah.
The one thing I will say about Kepler to make the Phillies feel better, just in general and all Phillies fans, is I was looking at him today and the other day. His defense is good. And you have 2 outfielders and Schwarber and Castellanos. His defense is obviously the very worst part of their game.
Schwarber doesn't touch grass.
Yeah. Good. They tried it and it didn't work out.
We chain him to the dugout and then we only unlock it for him to go bat as a designated hitter. But once he's back, we're immediately locking him back up.
I think he played in 2 games in the field last year, and the 1 game he got hurt and missed 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right.
He missed the whole IL stint. And we were like, why was he out there? I think he played in London, and that's when he got hurt.
Yeah, it clears.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though. I was genuinely surprised to see you guys go out and sign Ramon Laureano, though, because, just looking at your outfield situation, I was like, okay, I mean, they have the power bat in Tyler O'Neill, which is a good signing. And then you have Colton Cowser, who's still on the younger side. You have Heston Kjerstad, who's swinging over 300 in the minors. And I think we're due for a breakout at any point. And then you guys have Carlson out there, who it's like, okay, I mean, I guess he can back up and take a game once every 4 or 5. And then you guys go out and sign Laureano, and I was like, okay, I guess I don't think Kjerstad's ready, or what the plan is.
I think if I could do my wishes, Dylan Carlson will never step foot in Camden Yards. That's what I'm hoping this move means. Because I know I put out a video on our social media about him, and it was hard to find anything good to say about him. His stats are awful, and I really like Ramon Laureano, and I would hope it's a thing that we have Laureano and O'Neill as our 2 righties, because, I mean, if you think about it, on any given day, if you have Kjerstad, Mullins, and Cowser in the outfield, that's 3 lefty bats. That's 3 lefty bats that cannot hit lefties. And Kjerstad's is a defensive liability. He's not great out there. He just doesn't seem like he knows really how to read a fly ball or track one.
He's got cement shoes, doesn't he?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. It takes him a bit to go anywhere out there. So I personally, if I had the choice, he wouldn't play much outfield. But I mean, you had Santander, who's a terrible defender, who did good enough in right field.
He's serviceable.
So we'll see what they do. But if there's any day that there's a lefty pitcher in there, we're kind of screwed. And I don't think Kjerstad's going to play against lefties at the beginning. And I mean, I know you said that it seems like a breakout's coming. I personally think he was in a breakout last year. He was in the middle of a breakout, and then Clay Holmes hit him in the head. And that kind of ruined his stretch there a little bit. And that ruined the rest of the season basically.
Boom, headshot.
Yeah. And my thought process on that is a little different than Elijah's. So I have 2 ideas. One of them in my mind is going to be right. So I'm 50-50 shot here. Number 1 is our AAA is so depleted because we brought everybody up. We have nobody down there. So Carlson's probably going to be down there. But my other option, okay, that's the option I'm hoping. The other option is the Mariners or the Padres want one of our outfielders, and we're getting ready to ship Kjerstad or Cowser or one of those guys gone. And that's why we have Laureano, who's going to play, off and on with O'Neal and all them guys in one of the outfield spots. That's my idea. So we'll see.
I mean, it's comical to think that you guys have so many rookies that came up last year, or just young guys who have had their cup of tea and then came back up. But Gunnar led the team with 586 at bats.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a lot to lead the team.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the next is, surprisingly enough, Adley, and he's your catcher. He gets, 2 days off a week?
Well, they do this weird thing with him where he'll catch 4 days and the other 3 days he's DHing. I hate it. That's what Hyde really loves to run him out there as a DH. He had McCann bat so much. It was really unbearable because he's not a great hitter. The only highlight of his season was when he got hit in the face, and I wanted us to re-sign him literally just for that right there. I was at that game. It was awesome watching him get up with the blood pouring out of his face and keep playing. That was awesome.
Just tell me when to stop.
Could you imagine?
Tell me when to stop.
Someone just making a James McCann 2024 highlight reel, screen's black, opens up, and it's just McCann taking a fastball right to the face, and just end credits.
It just ends.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a great season. Great job.
It's like thanks for all the help, McCann. We really appreciate the effort.
I wanted us to re-sign him just because of that.
Listen, I get it. Great and glory. But the big thing is, Jay and I have no room to talk about your backup catcher or any backup catcher because ours is Garrett Stubbs. Listen,
but the
Garrett
ladies
Stubbs
love him.
Dude.
Well, he's off the market. He's married now. Sorry.
Trust me, I've heard all about it. Any woman Phillies fan that I know up here, that's all they ever talk about.
Because they're bigger than them.
See, but here's the thing. My love for Garrett Stubbs kind of fizzled out after, probably after 2023, because 2022, obviously, you did the whole World Series run. You had the Dancing on My Own song, and it was cool. It was fun. It was the first time we went to the World Series in forever. It was all right, the vibes are high. The team looks good. Let's win this thing. We lost. It sucks. 2023 comes around, you make the playoffs, you get past the first round. Stubbs makes a dumbass comment that after we win the series, we're going to go jump in the Diamondbacks pool and go party. And they tried to bring the song back, but it was all right, this doesn't really feel like the same team. You lost. And then, last year, there was just kind of more of Garrett Stubbs, oh, I'm the vibes guy. It's dude. Listen, you kind of got away with it for the first year, but now it's kind of you're not hitting the ball. You're swinging around a 145 average. It's you have to do a little something here, and it just never happened.
One good game all year, and it was against the Royals in Kansas City. I remember I was at one of my girlfriend's very good friends' child's birthday party, and I'm at a fun zone type place. And I'm standing there staring at the screen, and I see Garrett Stubbs go 4 for 5 with a triple, a double, and a home run. And I'm like, is he about to do it? He didn't. But yes.
No, I think he's just trying to be like Austin Hedges way too hard. And Austin Hedges is his own beast. And I know I kept on telling Cody I wanted us to sign him just because when you say you want a vibes guy, that he's a vibes guy, but he's also basically a coach. But yeah, Garrett Stubbs is.
For God's sake, no.
I thought I said that too. No,
But yeah, I mean, I think Adley he had a lot of at bats, but with Samuel Basayo hopefully coming up soon, maybe he'll have a little bit less and also step up his offense. Hopefully.
That's genuinely crazy. You guys are about to have one former top catching prospect and another top catching prospect on the same squad at the same time. As fans, obviously, do you see this as Adley going DH full time, Basayo going DH full time?
Better question.
How would you really make this work?
I know. I definitely think that Basayo is the worst glove. 100%. Adley, he struggles on certain aspects of pitching, but I think he's going to be able to call a better game too. He's more experienced at this point, and Basayo's worry kind of this whole time, I think, has been his defense. He's always been able to hit, but that's why I think kind of why he's taken so long to get up here. And I personally believe that Ryan Mountcastle and Ryan O'Hearn, they will not be a tandem by opening day. I think one of them's going to get shipped out at some point because we just don't have the roster spot.
So you think Sammy Boy will end up being a first baseman then?
I think he could. I think he could work in some first base, could work in some DH. Because the problem is we're getting to the point where we have so many people. Is he a full-time fielder or is he a DH? Is Tyler O'Neill going to be able to produce in the outfield all the time? Is Ryan Mountcastle or Ryan O'Hearn? They can't both play first base at the same time. Where's Kobe Mayo going to play? I think first base is the easiest option. O'Hearn's done after this year's contract. Mountcastle's is done after next year. I don't know if either of them will be on the team by next year, even by this year if they stay.
It's fair.
I know I'm one of the few that believe that. I know Cody doesn't exactly agree with me fully there.
About what, Elijah? What don't I agree with you with?
That the Ryans, as I call them, are getting shipped out.
Yeah, I just don't think anybody wants them. I think Ryan O'Hearn's a release, not a trade. Well, unless you get if we get a year's supply of baseballs, like clean, no scuff, then that would be different. But I think Ryan O'Hearn's one of the guys that I'm sure Phillies, I'm sure you guys have a guy like this where he's very valuable to us and he does great. Sometimes it just seems like in big times he does something, right? So he'll bat a 210, but it just seems like as an Orioles fan, those hits happen on a good time. But other teams don't feel that. They don't value that as much as we do. That's what I think. And I also think Mountcastle, they're saying the wall got moved in because of O'Neill. I think that's full of crap. I think Mountcastle, he's lost 19 home runs last season because of the wall. Moved in. That's a lot.
He lost 19.
Yeah. 19. But let me say this though. They're not moving the wall where it was. That's where the wall was. Okay. So yeah, they're moving the wall in, be that what it may. But, you remember Camden Yards and Yankee Stadium, they were little league parks. We just made ours into a bigger park now. Right. So, that, it might be 19, but even if he was playing, I don't know, at another Phillies, it'd still probably be 4. You know what I mean? So that being said, yeah. So I think they're hoping that they can kind of get him because Mountcastle changed this entire approach batting wise when they moved that wall back. And it's really, he goes to the right side all the time, but he has no power to the right side. He's not Miguel Cabrera. Boy, wouldn't that be nice? But he's not Miguel Cabrera. So they're hoping that can do something for him. And if it does, I'll be the first one on our podcast to say I was wrong. I don't think people value him as much as Orioles fans. I think, we love him because he was part of the transition, but obviously the Padres don't care if you're part of a transition or not.
His feathers
it's
are
funny
getting a
you
little
say
gray.
that.
Yeah.
Because the Phillies do have that type of player that you described to where he's valuable as the fan base sees him. Yeah. But if you put him on the market, it's kind of like, all right, what are you really expecting? And Rich is kind of throwing me a look, and I'll tell you who it is. I see it as Cody Clemens. Cody Clemens had a lot of clutch hits last year for us. He came up big in a couple spots. But answer me this. What is Cody Clemens' value outside? Thank you. He doesn't have anything. He's not going to get you a return. It's just like Cody said. He's going to get you a big bag of clean baseballs. That's it. They'll be like, here, we'll fill your soda machine.
I'm not a fan of
year.
Nepo babies. Sorry.
Listen, I love Cody Clemens. Cody Clemens is one of those guys where I'm like, he's great off the bench.
Yeah. Strong first name. Strong.
But
name.
Outside of that, stronger last name.
It's
share last name with the.
Oh, is it? Screw him. Yeah, Roger didn't know how to spell it, apparently.
Roger didn't know how to do a lot of things right. So,
that's funny. But that's good. Yeah.
Sure knew how to grab his butt cheek, though.
And, I definitely think, as a Phillies fan, I don't see 2025 as, a tremendous year for us. I think our biggest problem is that the Braves are fully healthy again, and when the Braves are healthy, it's just a shit show.
Now.
But now that now that Soto's on the Mets, which I'm not tremendously worried about because we dealt with him on the Nationals in the same division for however long he was there before he went off to San Diego. But like at the same time, it was like, okay, you won the NL East last year. Congratulations. The Mets scuffled in the first half. The Braves got hurt early on and kind of just trashed them. So I don't know. I don't see it really being a very open NL East. I think it'll be close. I mean, I'm genuinely hoping just to try and make the playoffs at this point. Like,
I look at it this way. Sure, the teams around us got better. Obviously, the Braves, I mean, sure they added, but also they're just going to get healthy. And the Mets, I mean, maybe they took a mortgage out on Vatican City to afford him. I don't know, because how else do you afford that much for one person? But one player doesn't make a team. One player, yes, they can kill you in a game, in a series, but that should not be your game plan to face one player. We have a whole team to face. I mean, last year, the Phillies beat the crap out of the Dodgers the whole year. 6 games against them. I think we're 5-1. I don't care about who's on what team and how many all-stars they have. It's baseball. You can win any day. Not one person being on a team makes your team unbeatable. That's not how this game works. There's 9 guys at all times, no time limit. We're not like any other sport. You need everyone to be accountable, not just one person. So that was the Phillies' biggest downfall last year. You had everyone go on hot streaks throughout the whole season. No one did it at the same time. No one. But yet we were setting a record. Potentially we were on pace for most wins in baseball all time to beat the Mariners right before the All-Star break. And then we went to London and everything went, what? So I don't care. It's baseball. One person doesn't make a team. You have X amount of players. 26 guys on that roster mean something to your team. One person can beat you, but it's not the only person that will. So play ball. I don't give a shit about anything else. Stop acting like Juan Soto being on the Mets is the end-all be-all and they're going to beat us. Excuse me. Acuna, we have never been destroyed by him. I know it's got to be relatively similar for you guys. You guys have a stacked division as well. Not everyone who's a perennial all-star in your division destroys you. I mean, that's just how baseball works. Some guys don't do well against certain teams. The Yankees, not everyone on that team destroys you.
Yeah. Yeah, just to make you guys feel better. That Soto guy, we had to deal with him a lot last year. And then
Sure.
I know he has Alonso now, but we had Judge, freaking there. So I mean, we didn't have a polar bear, but we had him like one of the best hitters of all time. But we went 8-5 against them with our like little birds, over here playing against them. Yeah, Fat Al's on the mound. He can't touch us, So yeah, you're right though. But you're absolutely right. I agree with you because if that was the case, they shouldn't have lost the game, right? Right? If you have Judge and then you freaking have Garrett Cole, you freaking have Soto. I mean, you should win every game if what people are saying is correct. And so I agree with you. I do. I think, let the Mets do what they want. They've never proven that they can build a team yet, right? I mean, they went and signed what they thought the 2 best pitchers in baseball was a couple years ago. They didn't even make it to the All-Star break with them. So they just traded. Yeah, so I mean, they forgot that 40-some-year-old pitchers get old, but it's yeah. So I mean, but yeah, so it's one of those things where I completely agree. It's not the NBA. 3 players aren't going to beat us. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So I'm going to give you our outsider point of view of the Phillies, and then I'll see if Elijah agrees with me or not. All right.
Ooh,
Yeah, so you gave us our outsider view of the Orioles. So let me help you out here, if that's all right with you guys. You good?
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, please.
All right, so what we see from you guys is number one, you got one of the best catchers in all of baseball, J.Q. Eutaw, and you have one of the best outfielders in all of baseball, and Bryce Harper, and then that shortstop guy, Trey Turner, which that was a good move by you guys with the whole cheering thing.
First base.
Yeah,
Bryce is our first baseman.
Oh, you're right. My bad. I forgot he got old. So anyway, actually, I'm the same age as he is, so never mind. But anyway, so thank you. Yes, he's for first base. But isn't it crazy though? If he played right field, he'd be one of the best outfielders. You move in the first, now he's one of the best first basemen. So that's a ball player. But anyway, and then your pitching staff, freaking Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, Ranger Suarez. I mean, I know you got Taiwan Walker, but I'm going to just pretend. Anyway.
Yeah, just skip over him. Skip over Taiwan.
In all honesty, as an Orioles fan, you have something we wish we had, and you have two number ones. You know what I mean? And we would do anything. We don't have a number one. We have a guy that we wish was a number one in Grayson Rodriguez, who might be someday. But we're also worried because
I love Grayson Rodriguez.
Yeah. But here's an Orioles fan.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Here's an Orioles fan fear, okay? We've had a lot of these guys. We've had Brian Mattis, who was supposed to be this guy. We've had Kevin Gausman, who was supposed to be this guy. And we have Dylan Bundy, who was supposed to be this guy. So our fear, I get they're all different people. But as a baseball fan, you kind of put them in the same category. And that's our fear. But I'm staying with the Phillies real quick. So, right now you have the best rotation in your division, in my opinion, because you had the Braves. They lost to the Yankees. Now we got to deal with that. Thank you guys. But the
Maybe
Mets don't. Yeah,
they'll be there half the season. You're fine.
Okay, yeah, you gotta get hurt. But I mean, the Mets don't have the pitching rotation to stay with you. Braves don't have. The Marlins, we only need to talk about that. Don't have the rotation, and I just think, I mean, just being honest.
AAA team.
Yeah. I just see you guys as non-Phillies. Like, I don't watch you guys as close as I watch my Orioles. Obviously, I would be shocked if you guys don't win your division. Now, you can't say it because you're trying to knock on wood to try to not mess anything up in the world here. But I don't care if I mess you over. No, I'm kidding. But. I mean, it's crazy. Your pitching's but your bullpen's where you guys want to get better at. You know what I mean? You want to make sure you can hold through. And once you get your starter gets you through 6, which we wish we could get a starter to get through 6, but that's fine. If your starter can get through 6, you need those 3 shutdown innings after that. And that seems to be what you've been trying to find. Obviously, sometimes you do. I mean, but just trying to. What do you got, Elijah? How do you see their fighting Phils?
No, you 100% nailed it. The one flaw that I would definitely see is the bullpen, because the only thing I look at just free agency and how everything's on. I understand you got Jordan Romano, but I think it's also, I have a little bit of a skewed view on him because he's just awful against the Orioles. So every time I watch him, he just does terrible. But I mean, you lost. Obviously traded away Gregory Soto and Seranthony Dominguez to us. You lose Jeff Hoffman. And I mean, those are
for those things.
Well, yeah. And then, I mean, you even had, I know he was only there for part of the season, but Carlos Estevez is gone. And it's, I mean,
shock.
I was huge on him. I really wanted the Orioles to go get him.
Good talent, good arm. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know what we didn't see in him. I don't know if it was the money.
I mean, the Royals were able to pay him, which makes me, I don't know. I mean,
you got second team in on Hoffman too.
Yeah. And it makes me feel better because the Braves, I guess, were also in on him, and they also saw the same thing in the physical and didn't want to offer him a contract. So that makes me feel a little bit better about the Hoffman stuff. So if he blows his shoulder out in the 3rd week of the season, I'll feel fine about that. Us not getting him.
Sorry, Toronto.
If he's locked down for the next 2 years, though, then I'm gonna be wondering what happened. But I mean, your bullpen, you have like Kirkering, I know is really good, but I couldn't even tell you who half your bullpen is, and I could tell you your entire roster probably outside your bullpen.
Well, we signed. Well, don't forget we've met Strom still, Alvarado. So that's 2 very good lefty arms.
Yeah,
dependable lefty arms, I should say. Strom was absolutely shut down for. Strom was shut down for 80% of the season.
Yeah, because I remember when we played you guys, that was the first time he'd given up a run in like the entire season, basically.
It was like at that point, I think it was like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Which is insane for a lefty reliever nowadays. I mean, it's not like you pitch a third of an inning, so.
Yeah.
I remember opening day last year, our bullpen got shelled, and unfortunately Strom was one of those. But like after that first week of opening series, he immediately went back to being the shutdown pitcher we knew that he could be. And like you said, when we got to the Baltimore series, he got hit around a little bit, and it was like, okay, like it's fine. Like you throw 6 weeks of shutout ball, no one's going to really.
He's immortal.
Yeah, no one's going to act like this is the worst thing in the world. Like, no, but like, love Matt Strom. He's a great pitcher when he's on, but Strom's also kind of one of those guys where like, if he starts feeling like he's starting to get in a little too deep, you can see him start to like, not really panic, but you can see he's trying a little too hard. But I mean, I'm big on Jose Alvarado. I'll never lose faith in that big bastard. Like that dude could give up 6 runs in a game. Yeah, shout out Jose Alvarado, dropped like 15 pounds. Now he's like skinny and shit. But no, I'll never lose faith in Alvarado.
There was a game last year. Alvarado is one of our favorite players. There was a game last year where he was joining the booth on the mic, and they said something. He goes, "I'm a fat fuck." He goes, "I'm a fat fuck," and they were like, "What?" And he was like, "Ah." And then it was like real quiet because it was like the first season he's ever had like English.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Oh, I learned some stuff I shouldn't have said." And I was like, "Yeah, that's us. We're not the brightest bulb in the spoon drawer." So this is fantastic. It just fits in with our mantra. I mean, we got John Kruk talking about he ate too many salt and vinegar chips, and now he has an ulcer in his mouth in the booth mid-game. So regardless, we're all just a bunch of ragtag people, and then we got Mormon banana bread making coffee, shaking. Bryce Harper trying to do his best Instagram model and influencer crap in the off season.
I really wish he would stop with that.
It's so funny though, because I think he must have done so much drugs and smoked so much weed in his life, because his eyes are such a deep red and so far back.
He looks stone like a gravel road.
He looks like Cody Bellinger.
That's funny.
Cody Bellinger always looks higher than giraffe vagina. But like, come on.
That's funny.
Dude, I've never seen Harper literally look at the camera and go, "What?" Like, it was the dumbest thing. I was like, "No, stop. No, all right. Scroll. I need this off."
I'm not sure what it is Bryce Harper's eating or drinking. Like, we know he's drinking straight raw milk at this point, but every time that dude films a new TikTok, I genuinely feel the need to watch it, because I'm like, I really wonder if he truly has cooking skills, or if he's just like, he's like, "Today we're making this," and his wife's doing the cooking. No, my man is going, he's making bagels.
Dude, he's hard to beat.
My worst fear of this whole thing is us losing series and other fan bases taking his TikToks and being like, "Look, we cooked up an L," and it's like, Christ, here we go.
Yeah, he'll definitely be the beginning to a whole bunch of edits this summer.
Dude, it's going to be so bad. So bad.
Absolutely.
It terrifies me.
Dude, all you're going to see is him up on someone's Jumbotron with banana bread. Like,
it's so bad.
I mean, that's better than it's Adley Rutschman's birthday, and you got MLB Network posting a thirst trap of him on Instagram and stuff. It's just, they posted like a video compilation of him, and he was like working out.
Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't want to see that?
MLB, they try so hard sometimes. They try to be the NBA and the NFL sometimes, and on the social media side. And we just don't have, it just doesn't work, man. Jamar Chase can look good doing stuff, but man, Adley, nah. That body type's not the same, buddy.
See, the biggest problem is that you're marketing the wrong guys. Like, you gotta find the skinny shortstop who's got like a 12 pack and a boat somewhere. You're going after Adley Rutschman, who's just like, oh, hey, I'm just like walking the dog. Like, do you guys want to come with me? Meanwhile, some like 21-year-old stud with like 3 girls on a boat slamming beers. Like, no, you need to get that kid.
Yeah.
Like, that's what
you
want.
need the MLB's version of like Julian Edelman. And that's what you need. You need that, and like, obviously there's no Gronks, but you need them. Jay and I have talked about it countless times. I don't know if you guys have done it on your pod. MLB as a whole, players, the network, the whole institution sucks at social media.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Sucks. Like, it is awful. They are a broken Hoover from it doesn't work. And you're looking at the NBA where you have the 6th man on a team who has like 12 million followers on any form of social media. And then you have Shohei, who has 16. But
yeah, I think it's just
80% of that's Japanese.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think it just comes back to, I mean, Cam Newton said it, a few weeks ago, that the WNBA was going to be more popular than baseball in a few years, which is completely outrageous. The seats he's gotten to them. But it's just, people don't, unless you're already a fan of baseball, I feel like.
Did you see his outfits?
Yeah. But I mean, I think it's
I should have wore that today. Give me a hat.
Yeah. It's MLB doesn't know how to market itself.
Thanks.
Well, he needs the hat because his hairline's too far back.
You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. That's not true.
Don't
I
worry.
did get a haircut.
It's genetics. It's genetics.
Boy.
I've got the same hairline.
Nice.
Oh, I wish we had suspensions on this show, dude. You would catch one so much for that.
I'll tell you what.
Dude, that's messed up.
Yeah.
Well, I get to say it. I get to say it because in 5 years, that's going to be me.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
Dude, that's a personal foul. Like, get the flag.
You see that, like, right in my throat? Is there a mark right there? God, I can't
Brother, there is a mark. He came to kill. Like,
not Wranglers, but they're the same jeans. Jeez.
Yeah.
He's waiting for it.
Since I'm not back at home right now, any opportunity I get, I gotta just really take it.
Yeah, I'm gonna send a package to a school that looks suspicious. Get you.
You already did that
trouble.
once. He sent me a cup the other day and wrapped it in like brown paper, made it look like a bomb.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I was like, I wonder if they're gonna like check this out. They did.
It definitely got scanned somewhere.
Like, my big question is was that the start of this whole thing? Because then the hairline comment, I mean, it makes a little bit of sense now. Like, you sent him a bomb, he came at your hairline. I mean, those are those penalties cancel out.
Next time, I'm going to send one of those those sparkle bomb things where it just sends up. Yeah,
sprinkle guys, glitter bomb.
Glitter bomb. Yeah.
You know what? Hey, he's got 2 young daughters. I'll send him. I've been trying to figure out how to get like drum kits and pianos and little stuff just to get them to be as loud as possible.
Yeah.
You know what I bought them?
I'm letting you know, as a parent, I have to open. So guess what?
I tried to get to him first birthday for his first daughter. I got him a pack of like 100 circus balls. And I was hoping they would just be strewn everywhere through the house. But someone else got them a little like bouncy house thing to go, like a small enclosed one. So it worked out perfectly. It made me so mad.
Someone's smart.
Yeah. I definitely will have went the small bouncy house route. That for sure, 100%.
Absolutely. It was good.
Or what you do is you hire someone to dress up as like Mickey Mouse or something and just show up at the house. Like,
oh yes.
But make sure the kids definitely see you. Like, you gotta figure out the kids. Like,
no more ideas. Let's go ahead and move on. Yeah, no, we're not.
Tony, I don't know exactly how old your kids are, but don't forget, they're not allowed to open the door for anyone. So
yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely.
It's us that have to open the door. So guess what?
Yeah.
It's getting shut. Don't waste your money.
Right.
Yeah, I'll just buy a Bluey costume and climb over the back fence.
Oh God,
that's fantastic. That's fantastic. But all I'm saying is, what you need to do, and listen, as a parent, I'm okay with this. Wait a few years
and kill Elijah.
Take that down. Hold on.
No, Elijah needs to be the one to purchase some underage stuff and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Get his daughter when she turns like 16 or something. Take her to her first party.
Nope.
Dude, not even that.
Nope.
Take her to get her first tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
Take her to get a piercing. Yeah.
Yep.
So, a question for you guys, and I was going through the schedule and I happened to catch this. The Orioles are coming to Philly in August, I think from the 24th to the 26th. You boys thinking about taking a trip down, or what's it looking like?
I've never been to the new Philly Stadium. I've been to the old one.
It's been 20 years.
I know. I saw Sammy Sosa hit a bomb. Yeah.
So did I.
Yeah, that was fun.
I was just thinking about that game not that long ago too, because I remember, I remember the people behind me were like, "That steroid taking bastard," and then he put it in the upper deck. I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, nothing was better than a steroid using Sammy. God, that was fun.
But baseball was awesome.
I mean, best
so
baseball of all time.
It was so good.
Yeah,
you wouldn't know, Elijah. You just wouldn't know.
Yeah, it was amazing.
You had 1 year in 2019 where baseball was great, but unfortunately, it was the Bombas squad in Minnesota that mattered. Stupid. I don't care. Whatever. But
yeah, I've never been there to the Phillies, not for any personal reason. It's just we go to a lot of Orioles games in Camden Yards. Yeah, no, I promise.
He tries to stay out of Philly as much as possible.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
I truly don't blame him. I work down in Philly, and I try to stay out as much as possible.
I live 6 minutes outside the city, so I get it. But also, I don't care.
No, but yeah, so it looks like a beautiful park though. So I would love to get there sometime.
Unlike him, I've been there. I've actually gone to games there.
Yeah,
you know.
Because you're a real fan. But anyway,
yeah, exactly.
Hey, make sure
when you guys, dude. He's catching strays. Come on.
Yeah.
We'll bring you both guys, and we'll make sure that we join up and link up if you guys want to come down in August. And we'll take you to this beautiful place called Kensington Beach. It's lovely this time of year, especially, during the summer. And we'll have a great time.
Yeah, no.
We'll see about that.
But yeah, no. Yeah, we pull off the side of the road. You guys, hey, go ahead and step out real quick.
Well, Cody, I heard Camden, New Jersey is great this time of year.
Camden, New Jersey? Yeah, no.
I know.
I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, the Sixers should play there, but no.
Well,
it's funny.
It used to be fun when they had a baseball team, but not anymore.
Yeah, Campbell Stadium was awesome. It was awesome. The River Sharks played there. Jay, how many games did you go to there? I went to at least a dozen.
Oh man, shit.
Quite a few, right?
Probably about 10, maybe.
Yeah,
dude, some along the lines.
What level were they?
They were in the Atlantic League.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, they were like it was pretty much just like one of those independent leagues.
Okay, I got you.
But honestly, for an independent league team, that stadium should not have been as nice as it was. Like, I live
drops the money
where the Blue Rocks play compared to where the River Sharks used to play. I mean, they've been gone for well over a decade, probably closer to 15 years now. But like Campbell's Field clears some minor league teams. Like
that's crazy.
I don't think
weird.
Frawley Stadium, the Blue Rock Stadium, that is an interesting place. I know. I actually got the chance in high school to play on that field, and yeah, that's what the one cool thing. Delaware High School is you'll just randomly get picked to have a game there. We got destroyed, but my high school team wasn't good, so.
Like, wow,
you played the Blue Rocks.
Yeah.
You played the Blue Rocks. They just shit on you. Like, we're 16.
It is a cool stadium, but there are definitely better ones around. Like, I know, luckily, the Orioles, I think our AA and AAA stadiums are all getting, like, updated this all season. So that's nice because I know I'm wearing a Bowie hat and their stadium is awful. Yeah. I know Cody attested always how bad it is.
It's the worst. It's the worst. So we go to. I used to work for the Delmarva Shorebirds, which is our single A team. I was a Columbian bat boy there, and growing up, and that stadium is totally getting redone. Also, so I'm pretty sure all of the Orioles minor league. So the MILB they put out a new guidelines last year on what the minor league stadiums had to be up to. So all the minor league stadiums are now having to and now it's like crunch time because, you got to wait last minute to do anything. So by the beginning of next season, I think is the new agreement of what has to be done. So, but it's amazing when you go in minor league clubhouses. I've been in 2 and it's not as I get it's not the pros, but it's not great. It's, nothing special. And, you would think I would talk to a lot of guys that came from, big colleges, and it was a downgrade, a massive downgrade going from college baseball to pro ball. So, but you know what, the goal is whenever you talk to an executive is, they don't want you to want to stay there. You know what I mean? They want you to build up. And that's why each level has something nicer and, more equivalent to, what the pros would have. But anyway, so it's pretty neat. I mean, I still like going to minor league games though. It's, it's pretty cool to be right there by the field and see the players.
Once you get to AA, you get showers. Nice.
Yeah.
Once you get to AA, you get showers. Once you get to AAA, you get like actual food.
You get one guy a week who comes and checks your feet just to make sure you're okay.
Yeah.
And then once you get to the majors, it's like fucking you get everything. Like congratulations, you made it.
Yeah.
Someone been like 3 games up there. You're like, wow, this is the life.
Someone that Bryce Harper personally employs make sure that everyone's socks are brand new every single day. So
Hey, cool Phillies story. He didn't play for the Phillies then, but I worked as the clubby for the All-Star game at the Shorebirds and Bryce Harper was the right fielder and Manny Machado was the third baseman. And I actually had to give up my locker to good old Bryce when that happened. And you know what? I gave up my locker. I gave up my locker. I should have brought it in. I gave up my locker. He gave me an autograph. He was awesome about it.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I had, so that only ticked me off. That's what ticks me off sometimes when Bryce usually gets the crap into the stick on certain things, especially when he was younger, about how he acted. But if you ever notice, it's always after a crap day. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure if you get me after a crap day, you're probably not going to get the best version of me either. But luckily, I mean, I don't have things on my cameras on my face. But my man was also 19. Yeah, I mean, young dude, you're expecting a 19-year-old to say the right thing at all times. So we used to say the same thing because Manny was just like it. You know what I mean? So Manny hits 2 home runs, goes 2 for 4. Interview him, he's great. You try to hit him twice and then he throws a bat at the pitcher. We shouldn't do that, but that's what happened. And so it's one of those
on the word tries.
He tried. He tries. The story would have been way better. But anyway, but yeah, so it was pretty cool. Bryce was awesome to me. He was awesome to everybody. I don't know what I'm saying, but I just he walks by a 14-year-old and doesn't give him an autograph, and now he's a jerk.
Look, that's one thing that Jay and I should preface. Like, sure, we make fun of him for his social media stardom that he's attempting. 100%, we know. Damn right, he is one of the best clubhouse guys. We know he is absolutely one of the best people to have on your side in a city. We both know that there's nothing wrong with Bryce Harper. Besides being a Mormon, but whatever, that's nothing.
Yeah, and you're getting the best. You're getting the best version of him. Yeah, I mean, you're getting the mature version of him. So not that the Nationals got a crappy version of him, but the Nationals got the Bryce Harper learning how to play professional baseball and how to act in professional baseball. So you're getting that version, and to round this back to our Orioles, like that's where we're struggling is we don't have many guys that have been there and know how to act. Now, when Gunnar plays shortstop for the Dodgers in a few years, then he'll know how to act and he'll, be ready to go, so.
Dude, if I get that notification on my phone, I'm going to lose it.
Yeah. I'd prefer you to just forget about me by then. Yeah. Don't even don't text that to me. Don't.
Oh, I'm going to text you in big, bold capital letters, my man. You did this.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Real quick, let's take away the stupidity and the probability of that actually happening. What's the largest contract you guys have offered?
Ooh,
that's got to be Chris Davis, right?
Yeah, Chris Davis.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Who we're still paying, by the way.
Unfortunately.
He's actually making more than Shohei this year.
Till 2027, right? He's only got a couple years left?
Yeah, a couple more years. He's made like $9 million this year. Don't worry, though. We're playing good old Charlie Morton more than him, though.
So wait. This is one thing I love about baseball, but also I truly hate is that how just dumb the fiscal network works in this sport. You can't restructure contracts, which pisses me off to no end. That's the one thing that should happen in the next CBA. Restructuring contracts. Instead of opt-outs after 1 year and all this crap. Like, whatever. It just means that you're not going to be here or you're going to think about not being here next year. Cool. Why is it the Orioles are paying Chris Davis $9 million this year, but yet you're perennial all-star, you're fourth in the MVP race this year, Gunnar Henderson is making rookie contracts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, one of the main reasons is he's a Boris client, and Boris clients don't sign extensions. But I completely agree with you. I completely agree. So you say your argument, hopefully your argument would be, well, that's why you hit him with a big number. And your argument would be correct because that's what the Royals did, right? Because Royals signed Bobby Witt to a big number, and that's a great argument to have because, you got to do something, right? If you're going to have money, you got to use it. And that's been the Oriole way is not been one to use it, right? So I think the hard part is which one are you going to do? I know Elijah always wants Westberg. I think obviously, yeah. Oh,
it's just Gunnar.
Yeah.
Gunner's never going to sign an extension, and Westberg's would be a cost saver if we don't want to spend hundreds of $millions. You can get Westberg for under $100 million easily.
Yeah, but Westberg's not playing short at the same capability or.
Well, obviously,
anything.
I'd say Gunnar. I truly don't believe Gunnar will sign a contract and that's
I
less
don't
than
think
a 4-year deal when he's a free agent. That's why I don't even think that's a possibility.
Oh, no. I don't know about you guys. Jay and I have said it along with Damon. These 10+ year deals to these guys who are just on the cusp of 30 are just absolutely disgusting.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Stop. I know you want security. What kind of security do you need when you get $200 million? How about don't be dumb with your money? Don't buy a $17 million house.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at least when Gunner's a free agent, he's still going to be like 26. And when he gets a 13-year deal, he'll actually be able to play it out. Whereas a 42-year-old Juan Soto is going to be struggling to hit 200.
I might be wrong on this. Gunner still has 3 years of control?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I figured. Yeah, that's right. Him and Gunner came up around the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the window's not as big as a lot of Oriole fans feel it is. That's the issue.
No, and that's also another issue when you guys are so flush with young talent. Because what happens?
Yeah. You're right.
And the other biggest issue is you guys brought up all this young talent within 3 years. So your contracts are all going to expire around the same time on rookie contracts. And then it's going to be like, wow, we're a AAA team again.
Yeah. You're not, and I think that's where maybe, our hope is that's why we're not doing these huge signings. That's the hope is that maybe it'll roll into that. So Boris did say that he was hoping to have discussions with the Gunnar Henderson and Oriole group next season as an extension. I think he's a load of crap because I don't trust him.
It's never a good look when Scott Boris has to do the talking.
Never trust him. No, I'm just hoping if he can keep screwing. Yeah, if he can keep screwing up. If he can keep screwing up like he's been screwing up, that's what I'm hoping. Because
the past 2 seasons, they're such huge precursors of what's going to happen.
Yep. Yeah. And then another thing going on your way is, I don't know if you remember, Elijah, you don't, but back in like the A-Rod time remember A-Rod signed massive contracts. And there was a time period of like 5 years where we saw these massively long contracts and then it kind of faded, right? And now it seems to be back again. So obviously then, in my opinion, it's going to fade again. So you see these waves of contract moves. I mean, the A-Rod one is one with the Yankees. Obviously, he signed a massive contract, and then he gets old. Miguel Cabrera gets old. And, so there's plenty more. Of course, I can't. My brain's just not working.
The Phillies were in the same boat in 08 when they had Howard, Utley, Rollins all on big contracts for multiple years. Yeah. I mean, granted, it wasn't double-digit, but it was still big contracts, big money.
Yeah. So
everyone got hurt.
So, like, you were just saying that there's going to come a day where, like, those big, long contracts start to fizzle out. And I'll be honest with you, I think we're seeing it right before our eyes now with Alex Bregman. Bregman's in his year 31, 32 season, and Bob Nightingale tweeted out today that Bregman's not taking anything less than 6 or 7 years. But you see all these teams are like, listen, we have 4 or 5 years on the table right now for this much money. If you take it, everything's good. I want 6 or 7. Like, he's almost tying Scott Boris's hands because he's so set on what he wants that Boris is kind of like, dude, listen, like, this is what's on the table.
Hands, or is Boris tying his hands? Which one's calling the shots?
I would have to think it's Bregman. I think if Bregman is truly calling the shots, then this is where he's at. If it was Boris, I feel like Bregman would already be back with the Astros at this point.
I kind of disagree only because what's his name for the pitcher on the Diamondbacks last year, Elijah?
Montgomery?
Yeah. Was it? Yeah. So Montgomery. Who did Montgomery fire immediately after he signed because he said it was his fault, and that was Boris. Because he said Boris was the reason why he had to do this stupid contract and all this crazy stuff. So, and it just seems to be everyone. You know what I mean? So, like, you could totally be right, dude. Like, don't get me wrong. But it just seems to be like the same thing on each person. Alonso just waits. And it just seems every year a Boris client waits. I feel like it's Boris. Maybe it's because I hate Boris, and I just.
I do think we're all. I'll blame him. We're all in the same boat, hating Scott Boris.
Yeah.
So I mean,
but like,
don't forget.
Like, if you think about it,
mid-season or the end of the season, Jay, that Castellanos fired.
Oh yeah,
mid-season. He fired him mid-season.
Yeah.
God, dude, Castellanos just looks like somebody that don't take crap too, so that's perfect.
Oh, damn.
Like, and
listen, he's a dumbass, but he's awesome.
Yeah. He's a player that you love him if he's on your team, and when he plays against us, he just annoys us. You know what I mean? Like, but if he had an Orioles hat on now, I'd be like, oh, let's freaking go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, always.
Yeah, I respect.
That's exactly who Nick Castellanos is.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But like on the whole, like Scott Boras thing, and back to Pete Alonso real quick. Yep. Pete Alonso obviously goes back to the Mets on a 2-year, $54 million deal with an opt-out after one.
Gross.
When Pete Alonso and the Mets had the contract extension talks last year, there was $150 million on the table sitting there, and he said no. So it's like, okay, you need to have one of the greatest years of your entire life to explain to a team why you deserve over $150 million.
Yeah.
That right there alone, if Scott Boras was in Pete Alonso's ear saying, no, we can get more, then yes, I 100% blame Scott Boras for that. Pete Alonso should have just taken the money then, and we wouldn't have had to deal with this shit.
But don't forget, he's also top 5 in homers since he came up in the past 5 years. So,
and that's fine. But this is what I'm saying. When you have over $150 million looking at you right there, there is absolutely no reason why you do not sign that contract. That is your safety net right there. What if you turn down that contract, you get hurt, season ending, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, I have to try and get a prove it deal now. Well, good luck. That's, I don't know.
I mean, do I think that he's worth $30 million for this year? Do I think anybody's worth $30 million for one season? No. It's disgusting. The money, the numbers are just like astronomically dumb anymore. I don't know how else to describe it.
Is there an opt-out in that contract?
Yeah.
He's out after 1 year.
Okay, thank you.
On a 2-year deal. I can't stand 2 years for these people again. Let's talk about it next season. I'll see you soon.
You know why it's you got hope that he's praying to God Vladdy doesn't sign. That he's praying to God because he needs more first base vacancies because you're gonna have Vladdy. So the Mets they're gonna lose a first baseman as long as he doesn't sign. The Yankees, I believe Goldie only signed a 1-year deal, so that's gonna be another place for him to sit, right? And then
he was a trade, and there's only 1 year remaining. Yeah.
So I wonder if his side is looking. I'm just trying to give you an argument for it. Okay, I wonder if I wonder if his side is looking at the vacancies that's going to come the next season and hope that there's more. I think that was the biggest thing. Good.
You guys won't have Mountcastle or Hurd. One of them's going to get hit by a bus or something like that.
Yeah, and we have $5 whole. We have $5 whole we're willing to give up.
I think we can give him a bag of Krabby Chips.
Krabby Chips. Yeah, okay.
Oh, Krabby Chips too slow.
Some crab chips.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, saw them littered all over the ground in the wire. So, yeah.
But, I mean, and you're saying that his side's hoping that they do good. If you look at it, his best season really was his rookie year, and he's just slowly digressed. He's not gotten any better. There's been no season that he got better. And,
fully agree.
You look at it as Santander got a big deal. This was Santander's career high in homers, and he got better. Last year was really good, but this year was better. The year before, he was progressing up where Alonso was doing the opposite. Is Alonso going to have a better season next year than he did this year? I don't know.
Santander's older, correct?
I think he's a year or two old. Yeah, I think Santander might be 30, 31 maybe. I'm not sure.
I think Alonso's just under 30.
Being completely honest, I think we're going to be in the same situation the very next offseason. Pete Alonso's going to opt out. Vladdy's obviously not going to re-sign with Toronto. I mean, the guy just turned down $400 million. If you're turning down $400 million, you obviously you want either better money from that team or you want to just go to a better team. That's all. That's all.
They're going to give him $800 million.
And if what we're hearing about Bo Bichette probably being traded at some point, what reason is there for Vladdy to even want to stick around?
He's so unhappy.
Which means to me that Toronto is going to be that team once again to be like, listen, we have a first base opening. Here's the money. You let us know what you want to do with it. And then again, just like Elijah said, he could come out, have a wild ass year and put up better stats than he did in his rookie season, and all of a sudden get the bag from whatever team. It could happen. Who knows? It's baseball. But I mean, back to the topic of Alex Bregman, though, we're sitting here on February 6th, still waiting for this dude just to sign a goddamn contract. We're a week away from spring training, and it's just like, all right, dude, come on here. It's like, just sign already so we can get this over with. There's still 40 other free agents. Alex Verdugo is still sitting on his hands. Brandon Rogers
he's allergic to his hands.
Is playing goddamn Yahtzee. I don't know. I'm just so ready for spring training to start and we can get some non-roster invitees.
All I can truly say about baseball right now that I truly don't understand is why have the Mariners not offered anybody a contract? You have zero offense. Pete would have taken a $45 million deal for 2 seasons just to get out of the Mets uniform. No one else was offering a contract, apparently.
Yeah. Let's not act like Pete ever wanted to leave. He didn't want to leave.
I think the same with Bregman. Yeah, I think Bregman's in the same boat. I think Bregman's most valuable to the Astros. The only problem is the Astros have filled the spot. Where's he going to go? The dumbest thing I've heard is they're moving Altuve to left, so you're going to mess up your whole vibe of your whole team just to oversign. You know what I mean?
A guy who can't even reach the middle of the left field wall?
Yeah, I hear you, but it's close. You know what I mean? So he does, with little legs don't have to run as far. But I just don't. I don't see the fit on the Astros anymore. Now, if you're an Astros fan, obviously you want him back because he's Bregman. Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's just if you just be realistic with yourself, your team has went out, signed, and traded, and filled the hole up. You know what I mean? So it's not like the Mets went out and signed a first baseman. Or traded for a first baseman. That hole was there the entire time. So, I don't know another place. I mean, I guess Boston wants, is talking to Bregman and stuff, but then, where are you going to
Bregman and Arenado.
Yeah. So
Arenado's the move. That's the one you do if you're Boston.
Yeah. What a leader he is. It's confusing. It's a confusing mess. And the thing that it shows you how slow the offseason is when we're talking about 2 people over and over again. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the sucky part. So,
we've done it 3 consecutive episodes and we were taking weeks off. So that's 6 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're
And
just 6 weeks into this year. We've been talking about those two fools with the same daddy who they have to pay money to.
Right.
And it's just, why have you not seen the connection?
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah.
So,
I mean, Chapman and Snell both dealt with it last year too. Like, come on.
So to break up the talk on Bregman and Alonso, someone did bring up the Mariners, and I do find this interesting. The Mariners do need offense, and they have an abundance of pitching. I know for a fact, triple underline, you can italicize it if you want. They have been offered trades.
Okay, board.
Phillies offered Bohm for pitching. They said no. Boston offered Casas and a prospect for pitching. They said no. I agree to the point where it's like, okay, what the hell are we really doing here this year? Like, you're not accepting trades for pitching, which,
do you
like
want
I
to
said,
win
you have
every
an
game
abundance of.
Like, or 1-0?
Like,
can't time baseball. What the hell was that?
Like, and we're not even talking about trades that are going up for, like, Logan Gilbert or, who's the other stud?
Castillo.
George Kirby. Kirby, that's it. George Kirby.
Yeah,
but like,
Castillo's the one that's expendable.
Yeah, he's the one that he's the one that they're getting offers for, but they're saying no. Castillo is the one that's expendable, but Seattle doesn't want to.
Castillo will be the best replacement for Burns for you guys.
I don't have proof of it, but I would have to assume, I know there was talks at one point that Kjerstad or Mayer, someone's been offered up to the Mariners, but just like every other team when trading with the Orioles, they only want Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing that sucks. And then the Yankees would give them their number 77th prospect and they'll accept it. But the the thing about Castillo too is, let's say, have 2 or 3 more years left. The issue you have, nice. Yeah, the issue you have is last season was 11-12. That's the issue.
Well, I mean, you also have to take that with a grain of rice, saying that they score a run and a half a game. You're
absolutely right, because he had a 3.5 ERA, right? Yeah, so that's stud, right? So good argument.
Corbin Burns won a Cy Young with 160 innings. I don't give a shit about wins.
And we just
talked
about this last week. We just talked about this last week on the topic of Jacob deGrom. Jacob deGrom was one of the most dominant pitchers for this one season in baseball. And his record was literally 10-9 because he could not get an ounce of run support.
His body is soft. It's SAWFT, soft. Dude, he can't handle the workload anymore. He's hooked.
My guy, we're talking 5-6 years ago. We're in the DeLorean right now, and you're driving a Chevy Cavalier on the wrong side of the road.
No, dude. DeGrom won't come back to his former self. And I'm
not saying he will.
He's still he hasn't played.
Hold on, buddy. I'm talking about why wins and losses don't matter. I'm talking about DeGrom season when he went 10-9 with a 1 ERA.
Fair. I was just venting my frustrations on DeGrom being even relevant anymore.
I'm going to have to take you and DeGrom to Maury or something and get this anger figured out, my man, because you just went off.
Can't stand him. Can't stand him.
That was insane.
Can't stand him.
Very clearly so.
Yeah, just.
But damn.
Oh, that's awesome.
So on the topic of the Holiday family, obviously you guys have Jackson, Ethan coming up in the draft. I think this year he's going to be in it.
You guys will get him right because he looks just like him.
He'll probably number 1 overall pick. He'll be the first of the brothers to go to it because apparently we got the wrong Holiday brother. He's looking like the even better one.
Allegedly, yeah, I did see that recently. That's insane.
I'll never, that's great. There's 2 great holidays, and there's still the argument of Christ, we got the wrong great one.
Right. Yeah, right. That's true.
It's how did we possibly mix up getting the wrong one?
Matt Stud. Yeah,
love Matt Holiday.
Boy, wouldn't that be crazy though? Is you're watching an All-Star game and one's at second and one's at short. That'd be cool. That would remind me of growing up watching the Orioles and Billy Ripken's at second, Cal's at short. Now, don't get me wrong, Billy is like the third cousin of the Holiday family, But yeah, right. But that would be anyway. That would be neat though. That would be cool.
That would have been awesome. Cool. I mean, Cal was what, every All-Star game of your young life?
Yep.
Basically.
Yep.
Billy was.
He was usually the sole Oriole in a lot of our bad years. Yep.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
You know, okay, silly question.
Just never let you guys down.
How could he? He played every day.
Yeah.
The dude showed up. The dude showed up.
Yep.
Yeah. He had to.
Yeah, I tell you,
the only draw.
The one good thing about Cal, and this is serious, is like you, as a kid, I didn't get to go to 2 hours away from Orioles Stadium. And so as a kid, we didn't get to go very often. So you'd go and you'd just pray, because we didn't have our phone to look at the lineup. So you'd get there, you'd walk in the stadium and go there's a big board, and you always knew your favorite player was at least going to play. So that helps. But yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I mean, my two favorite players growing up was Cal, who's everybody. There's still a ton of eights there, and BJ Surhoff, who was one of our favorites. Yeah. There's my two favorite players growing up. So that was
favorite initials. Just saying.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes.
So
I mean, CR? I don't get it. No, I'm just
kidding. Good for him.
Yeah.
So obviously you growing up with Cal Ripken Jr. was the reason that you pretty much fell in love with baseball.
Yeah.
But so that kind of just takes a question to Elijah, since he was born in the 2000s. I'm not saying the Orioles
Mancini,
terrible, but who was the player that really caught your attention?
Well, how
Miguel
often?
Tejada?
No.
Dude, I love Miguel Tejada, so shut. No, I'm just.
I know it was. Well, I was more like 5, 6 when he really started being good and stuff. But also, when I was 3, I wasn't really remembering much baseball. And how often can you say you got the same last name as your star player on your team? So I loved Adam Jones, and it's crazy.
Adam Jones is clutch.
It's crazy that I did get to watch him. For a while, got to have the heartbreak of.
He was a stud. He was a stud, dude.
He was
a stud.
Yeah. If I was voting for the Hall of Fame, he would have had my vote this year. I've been one of the 4 people that voted for him, but
man.
What really helps with him too is he's such a great guy.
Yeah,
I know he's done so much. I got a chance. I met him.
I don't think I've ever heard a bad word about Adam Jones.
Yeah, exactly. He's a great podcaster. He's a great baseball player. He's living the life right now. He just travels everywhere. I got a chance to meet him in December, and I stopped him for a picture and stuff, and he was super nice about it. And he helped when he really, really good too. Great defender.
Sure.
Yeah. I truly feel like that was our most underrated move as the Orioles, is bringing him on board into our organization this offseason. So he is, special assistant to the GM, I believe, or something.
Yes.
Yeah. And, just bringing him in and kind of creating, because what was the big thing that you used to hear about the Orioles? It was the Oriole way, right? So you made the play, you hustled. So just trying to bring that in. And also, you kind of touched on it a little bit a while ago, is he has the community has his back. When you have Adam Jones, you know what you have. So just putting his face on it. So the Orioles went out and got Cal Ripken last year, put him on board. This year they put Adam Jones on board. So next year it's going to be J.J. Hardy, and then we're going to be ready to go. No, I'm just kidding. But
J.J. Hardy makes his return to Camden.
Are you sure that he doesn't love Milwaukee more than you?
Yeah, you're probably right. But I think we paid him more. But that was.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah. But So Adam Jones. That's a clutch answer, Elijah. Yeah, he was a stud. He was a stud. How about you guys? What do you guys got?
So I'll start from. I'll give you my favorite Oriole that I was able to watch growing up, and then I'll give you my favorite Philly. The one Oriole I always loved, I always thought him extremely underrated when it comes to the position he played, Brian Roberts. I have a very soft spot for Brian Roberts. I thought he was one of the better second basemen I was able to watch when I really started getting back into baseball.
Without a doubt.
And like I said, when you hear people talk about great second basemen of the 2000s, Chase Utley's always in the conversation. You always hear about the other ones. It feels like Brian Roberts, for some reason, always gets skipped. I don't know if it's because he wasn't known for his power all that much or what?
Yeah.
But watching Brian
Speed
Roberts
and
was awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of respect for Brian Roberts. But I mean, as a Phillies fan, first name that always comes to mind is Bobby Abreu.
Oh, man.
Like, loved Bobby Abreu.
Triple Play Baseball 2000. Oh, bombs. Nintendo 64.
No one better.
Boy.
Like, there was something about his swing. And for some reason, like, when you think of outfielders, you think of guys that wear, like, number 20, number 30. Like, this dude wore number 53. Like, a middle reliever number. But was just amazing at the plate, man.
Yeah.
I used to love watching Bobby Abreu. The dude was just on another level.
Yeah. Stud.
Rich, who you got?
All right. So I got a favorite. I really got a favorite Oriole who mattered for 1 year. Brady Anderson.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Number 9. Love it.
I don't know what it was about him, but I remember, what was it, MVP baseball? I was like, I'm going to say it was his 97. Was it MVP in 97? I don't know, but it was baseball in 97, and I did just an auto draft for the whole league. So the whole restructure, no one was on the right team, and for some reason, I just went so hard with Brady Anderson. I was like 9 years old, and it was awesome. I thought he was one of the coolest people ever. I didn't care. I don't think I've ever actually watched him play. So yeah, but
That's funny.
that generic white guy name, gotta love it.
Yeah.
I'm going Phillies. Yeah, like, this was right around the time where I started loving baseball. It was right at the 2000. It's where I really like gained all my ability to retain information. So like 11 years old. Pat Burrell, man. Pat Burrell came up 2001. Played 3 years at the Vet. Then we were at Citizens Bank Park in 04. Pat Burrell, this is a long-standing joke within Philadelphia residents. Pat Burrell my mom.
That's funny.
He didn't, but there's a YouTube video.
I'm glad you cleared that
it.
up. Appreciate you.
There's a video out there that I would love for you guys to watch. It's on YouTube. It's got a couple local comedians in it. Tommy Pope, shout out, buddy. And Pat Burrell was known as a budding 13-year-old boy growing up in the Philadelphia area. You watch Pat Burrell become a sex symbol in this city. All of the girls loved him. He had a great bat-ish. You're looking at a guy who hit 270-ish. But most importantly, destroyed the Mets every year. Growing up, my family, if you don't hate the Mets, you're not deserving of the name. So,
that's how we feel about the Yankees.
Yeah.
I respect that tremendously. But, I mean, that's how you should feel about New York.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
As a whole.
I think my Philly is always it's always been the same person. And I used to pretend to be him playing wiffle ball back in the day. Was Jim Thome, man. I used to love Jim Thome. I used to try to bat do the little wiggle, right? And then we traded for him when we went to the playoffs. Elijah, what was that? 14 or 16? Do you know?
Anyway. 12 is when we
12. Okay, either.
He was,
appreciate you.
He was a trade deadline deal for you guys from the White Sox, correct?
Yeah, well, so that was it was just cool to see him. He sat the bench. He helped our players. He was like a hitting coach. And for a veteran,
that's a veteran present you don't get.
Yeah, for a guy to just be willing to do that and not just be in a bad mood because he's not getting playing time every day. I just have so much respect for him. But on the Phillies side, I mean, when he was on the Phillies, oh my God, between him and Abreu right on, then Rollins and then Utley. And I mean, what a fun team that was, but yeah. Elijah, you got one? I mean, it's probably like
yet again, it's
Aaron Nola or something.
No.
100 innings every year. I don't care.
No disrespect to Aaron Nola. It's just I'm not that young. I don't know why, but for some reason I really like Freddie Galvis.
Oh yeah, Freddie Galvis.
Oh,
yeah, that's a good one.
former Oriole too, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. For
Yeah.
about half a season,
Something like that.
Trade him.
He was
Yeah.
bad with us, man.
Yo,
Real bad.
That's a but that's a glove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That is a
Mhm.
good glove.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome.
Respect.
Did Freddie ever win a platinum?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
No. No.
Seriously?
That's funny.
Maybe if he did, it was with the Reds.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the only other team that gave him a real shot besides our shit team during that time. Ugh, I don't know. He jumped around.
But talk about like a sad, not sad, but like almost like a wasted year, man. You had like that lineup, man, and it just really couldn't break through. Didn't have the pitching for it most years, but it reminds me a lot of our lineup when Adam Jones was there, right? I mean, we had a great lineup, right? And we just couldn't make it. You know, you couldn't. It just shows you how hard the playoff run is, and how almost lucky you can get, you know, in the playoffs. Not, in my opinion, I'm not saying this happened last year, because last year I think the best MLB team won. But most years, in my opinion, the best MLB team doesn't win the World Series, you know? And so often you'll see a lineup, you know, like that with guys that are fringe Hall of Famers, and, you
I'll
know,
be right back, guys.
never made it. So.
Yeah, do time. Like, and I think that's the thing that really sucks about the Phillies from 22 and 23 was that, you know, 22, we make it to the World Series and we lose to the Astros. And it's like, damn, dude, like we were right there. And then 23, we get knocked out by the Diamondbacks, but then Texas knocks out the Astros. And then I'll be honest, I watched maybe 2 games of that series, but like the whole time I'm sitting there like, damn, dude, if this was the Phillies from 22 against this Texas Rangers team, like this isn't even a series.
Right.
And then last year, like, we win a division. It's like, all right, cool. We won the division. The Mets are burning hot. And then the Mets have that big comeback against the Brewers, knock them out. And then it was like, okay, it's like, all right, we face the Mets. Like, we've been here before. This is no problem. We faced the Mets thousands of times. Dude, like that whole series, I was just sitting there just like, what the hell? Like, this doesn't look like the team that just won the division. Like this looks like the team that just got their ass stomped out in the first game.
Yeah. Came
back, you know, we won the second game big, but then we went to Citi Field and it was just like everyone at the same time forgot how to play baseball. And
that's kind of where we were talking earlier about the last year's postseason run for the Orioles. Is you said that you went into the playoffs and you were crushing, or you go during the regular season crushing, and you run into the playoffs, right? Last year, April and May for the Orioles was amazing, but we sucked all the way to the playoffs and then in the playoffs. So that was the spot where it was like you kept, every time you turn on, and even us, okay, you would turn us on and we're like, all right, we won 2 games, we're breaking out of it, and then we go and lose 3. And then we'd win 2 more games. All right, we won 2 games, we're breaking out of it. And it kept going. You just thought, oh, they got to get hot sometime. So I know when we played the Rangers in 23, I thought that was like we were finally playing the weak team. The Rangers weren't doing good. They barely got into the playoffs. They sucked. You know, just me thinking. And then here they sweep us and they go and win the World Series. It's crazy how it works. You know what I mean? So, but it's just,
Like, so my second team is the Tigers. And you know, obviously the past couple of years have just been utter dogs for them. Obviously, partly because we have Javi Baez still trying to do something. But I always found it funny that we sucked with Baez, and then they're like, yo, like, just fucking take a vacation.
Hey,
immediately
sit on the IL.
Yeah. And then it immediately turned the entire team around, make the playoffs, and then all of a sudden, you knock out the Astros, so it's just like, okay, that's cool. Yep. Love that. And then you get all the way up, not to the World Series, but like, it was like, okay, it's like, here we go. It's like, now we got something.
You proved a lot of people wrong.
Yeah. And then, I tell you, the Tigers were the team that nobody wanted to play in the playoffs. I know when we're watching the end of the season and the Orioles are going to play the Tigers or the Royals, and we're like, God, please be the Royals.
Well,
Please be the Royals.
especially because in September, I think we played both of our series against the Tigers, and I don't know if we may have won one game.
Yeah. I mean, they were just on fire.
We may have been 1-6 against them or something like that.
They trade Jack Flaherty to get better. You know what I mean? They just
then they got him back in free agency.
Yeah. But
you
yeah,
can keep him. I don't want him here.
That's wild, by the way. That's wild.
Yeah. The Tigers, though, that'd be one of those like documentaries you'll watch in the future. You know what I mean? Of this,
ESPN 30.
You know how Moneyball, you're watching Moneyball, and if you forget if they win the World Series, you realize, oh no, they don't win the World Series. They just won a couple playoff games. But
and then you're like, Jack Flaherty loved it here so much. He got traded away. I think came back.
Yeah. That's how you treat him right, though. You wonder if there was conversations with Jack Flaherty saying, okay, Jack, we're going to trade you, but where do you want to go? You know what I mean? We can get a good package here. We send you to the Dodgers. We're going to send you to the best team on earth. It's going to give you the best opportunity.
You want a ring?
Yeah, right. Yeah, and then because you don't piss him off, you're able to keep that relationship. Whereas the Orioles, we pissed him off. He pissed us off, so we hate him.
Yeah, that's got to be reminiscent of what we did with Cliff Lake.
Yeah.
The one thing I always kind of wonder, because Jack Flaherty was out on the free agency so long, was it kind of just was it kind of the Tigers last minute move? Because I kind of feel like the Tigers were really just waiting to see what Roki Sasaki went with, because obviously if Roki goes to the Dodgers, there's not a spot for Flaherty. So if somehow Roki would have went to the Padres or someone, but then again, the Dodgers still have one of the deepest starting rotations throughout their entire minor league system. It's one of those things that kind of surprised me. It took so long for the Tigers to get Flaherty back. I feel like that would have been one of the first moves to make, is bring him back and put him back in the rotation.
Yeah.
Before the out-of-towners interject, I'm going to agree with you on, I think it was the Roki deal. But, Jay, what did I send you last night about Roki?
About his physical?
Yeah, apparently, I don't know if you guys saw this. Mm-hmm. Apparently, several people in Japan said that he needs Tommy John.
Oof.
Or he should get Tommy John. I don't know what that means. Either you need it or you should get it.
Yeah.
But then the Dodgers are also paying a minimum for him. So I mean,
that's why we bypassed and went with Sugano. We didn't want that guy. Yeah, we're like, let's get the 40-some-year-old,
35.
We don't want, yeah.
I mean, about Roki,
too many questions around this Sasaki character. About that 35-year-old chilling.
I mean, hey, he's
I don't like his.
He might be the highest paid NPB player of all time.
Who?
Sugano.
Oh, really?
He was raking in the money.
Yeah.
That's why I checked.
Yeah, he's got a great track record.
Yeah, he had a better ERA the past couple seasons than Sasaki. He just can't throw it above 90 miles an hour.
Yeah,
he just more.
Yeah. Well, we got between Charlie Morton and Sugano, our average fastball speed may be in the 80s.
That's why you need to go out and get Zach Greinke.
Charlie Morton still hits 95.
That's good.
That's because he's 17 feet tall.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the only reason.
Yeah, but now
not because of his age.
I think Sasaki, though, there were reports that he's lost velo on the fastball over the past couple of years. I think it's slowing down.
It's something that I said, Jay, out of a joking. And then I'm like,
that's crazy.
Maybe that's why it took so long.
Yeah.
It's dude, if it's true, and he goes, 2 weeks in the spring training, and it's all right, shut it down.
Yeah.
It's going to be hilarious.
That could be intense.
Isn't it crazy, though, if that does happen, the Dodgers oh, well, we'll just put him on the aisle. No big deal.
Just pull up.
Welcome back, Dustin May.
Yeah. That's just, Meanwhile, if that was the Orioles, that was the Orioles, you'd be like, all right, we're not playing. We're just not gonna do this year.
Yeah, you're like, it's like someone, someone goes the money.
Our next option is Joe Ross or Taiwan Walker.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of excited to see Joe Ross. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, Joe Ross has stuff. He's got stuff. But I'd rather eat this can than see Taiwan Walker again.
His last name's Walker. That's not good.
Well, Taiwan Walker, I do find it funny.
Walker, I hardly know it.
No alliterations.
We don't want Walker. We don't want Homer Bailey. Yeah, I mean, there's just certain people we do not. Yeah, sorry, you're probably a great person. Your parents should have done better.
So, for final thoughts, I have a question for everybody. I want you, before we jump into the season, I want your guesstimate on what your final record is going to be at the end of 2025.
Guesstimate? You mean prediction? Come on, kid.
Guesstimate. Give me a guesstimate.
Okay,
go ahead, Elijah.
Accurate prediction?
We thinking
16 and
maybe 88 wins. Like, I think we'll probably be a wild
card.
Yeah, we're not winning the division, but maybe when Max Fried and Carlos Rodon blow their arm out in August, the Yankees will fall off by the time the playoffs start.
He thinks Fried's making it to August.
And I was hoping we'd be different. God, I have written down because I was trying to do math there for a second. I'm at 87 wins. That's what I think. But you know what? I'm at 87 or 95. It's going which prospects step up. We have such an uphill, we have such a ceiling. That's a better way to say it.
Yeah.
We have such a ceiling. But such a ceiling. But you said the word, dude. They're still prospects, right? Until they show it, they're still prospects. So, go ahead. What you got?
There's only one word that I care about at the end of the season that starts with a P.
Mm-hmm.
Not prospect. It's parade.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
And unfortunately.
Yep. And 1 + 1 doesn't always equal 2. Yeah. Yeah.
Nope.
Yep. Yeah. So, yeah. Where are you guys at?
Rich, you want to go first?
Sure. I think that we finished second in the division, first in the wild card. I want to say 92 wins. I don't particularly care because the rest of our division is going to be in shambles because the Mets are going to Met. The Nationals are way too early in the rebuild, but also at the same time, they have a lot of talent, but their pitching's not there.
They're on a good path.
Offense, definitely. They are on a very good path. They are scary in 3 years. The Mets, like I said, they're going to Met. The Marlins, are they in anybody's division?
I think they're in Double-A now.
Whoa.
They're like, you guys didn't spend $1. Get in the bin.
But the Brewers are going to be where the Brewers are. Losing Devin Williams, you got Woodruff coming back at maybe some point, and Woodruff is supposed to take over for what Burns should have been for them for more time, but I don't know how much time he has left. So therefore, I don't think that's going to be the wild card that we truly compete against. I have no idea who we're going to compete against for the wild card at this point because Diamondbacks, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe you're definitely getting the Diamondbacks in there.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely an NL West team.
Well, I mean, the Padres, they could be scary, but I mean, they also could fall apart.
But the Padres' entire organization is absolute shambles currently.
Yeah.
Well,
the
bad news for everyone in the NL is baseball finally said that the one brother is in complete control of the team and all the assets. So now, I mean, if this dude has a plan to just sell everyone and then just sell the team, then that's it. But until we really have a clear idea of what he wants to do, I mean, they're still a dangerous team. Dylan Cease is still there.
Do you guys want Tatis for Colton Cowser?
Yeah, we'll go ahead. Yeah, we'll take him off.
While we're at it, can we send over Sugano for Cease?
Oh, whoa! Weren't you the one 5 minutes ago just saying how high you were on Sugano?
I'm hyping him up to get rid of him.
Oh, okay.
It's still only. I'll take
someone smart. Okay. Look, leave the kid alone. The kid's cooking. Come on.
But I do agree, and
five.
I agree with you said. I agree with you said, especially on your past episodes, you were talking about how the fire sale thing, which sounds ridiculous because you say, "Oh, but they won't." But we've seen it happen, right? I mean, we've seen the Marlins just give Stanton away for literally nothing, and so it's not crazy, right? Yeah, and Yelich, right?
And
so what you're saying sounds insane, but it's not. I wish it was insane. I wish it was impossible. I wish the league could do something, but they can't.
No.
As sports fans, we all know for the teams that don't have ownership, that's money, money, money. Let's put it behind this team. The small market teams, anything and everything is possible. We've seen it countless times, especially in our sport. How many times do you see a city go through a true rebuild? Often. Those small market teams, the Royals, listen, Cody, Jay, we're old. We've seen the Royals be good 3 times in our lifetime.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, for predictions, if I had to guess, I'm just about in the same boat with Rich. I'm going 90 and 72, first wild card spot, and then Diamondbacks and the Padres in there as well. I mean, I can't really see a situation where, like, there's no one in the NL Central outside the Brewers that I really see making a push. I don't think the Cardinals are there yet. The Cubs, they get better. I still don't think they're on the same level as the Brewers just yet. But the Brewers losing Willy Adames is a huge hit. Willy Adames did put up a lot of runs for him.
You got nothing in the back end.
So right there, the Central could be a dogfight. But whoever comes in second, I still don't see them being better than the Padres or the Diamondbacks.
Who's winning your division?
I think
you guys have?
Braves,
okay.
No doubt.
Okay.
Like I think
the Mets are in third.
I just want to make sure.
Like
it's where they should be.
Braves, I could see winning 94 and 5 games. Phillies, like I said, around that 90 win area. Mets,
Braves aren't getting stronger back till a little bit into the season.
Yeah, but the Braves are still one of the more put together teams.
But they lost Fried. Like I don't know if you guys even remotely follow the Braves and their dealings anywhere near as close as Jay and I do. Jay and I have so much admiration for Alex Antonopoulos, their GM, because how the hell does he get these deals made where these guys are on the most friendly contracts you could possibly have in this day and age? Acuna for under $150 million. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Olsen, great extension. Dude,
That's the amazing scouting on the international market, though. When with Acuna and obvious, it's one of those things because it's much easier. It seems, I'm not a GM. It seems much easier to get those contracts done. You know, when you get these guys through the the draft, the MLB draft, it's much more difficult. They know their worth. It just seems like the international draft, if you have good international scouting, you can do big contracts like this. I mean, look at Devers with the Red Sox. I mean, any of your guys that have been able to stay with a team for a long time, it's the international draft. And that's where, like the Orioles, our best international draft signing is this Basayo catcher. So hopefully maybe we can turn him into something on the Orioles side. But going back to the Phillies, I mean, the Phillies are one of those teams. I can see you winning 91, right? I can see you winning 101. It's one of those, how far is your pitching going to take you? Because you're going to hit the ball. Yeah, I mean, so can you outpitch the Braves? I think you can. I think you can outpitch the Braves.
I know we can, but their offense.
Yeah, I get you. I understand.
It's not different than ours. It's just not the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you get what I mean, like.
Yeah, sure.
A great left-handed first base, sure. Top 5 potential talent in baseball and Acuna, sure. But the one thing they don't have that we do is someone who's able to contribute at any given time. They are streaky, but it's everyone together streaky. They have the vibe, and that vibe is always a unit. It's been that way for the past couple of years. When they're all firing, that's when they're great. They might have like a 3-week period where they go like 4-16, which is awful. But that 4-16 shifts them. Like that's what ruins where they're pacing. But other than that, they're 30 games below 500 the rest of the season. So the Braves are the only scary team that we have to face. I'm not concerned about the Dodgers. Like I said, last year we were 5-1 against them. Not concerned. Mets. Listen, I get pissed off every time we face them. Even if we win, I still hate them. Something still pisses me off.
Should.
Trust me, I do. We're the one that Jesse Winker walk-off home run. Because Sir Anthony Dominguez, he must have said, well, I'm not on the Phillies, so that means I don't have to worry. Like, if I play against the Mets, I'll just let them win, because he had gave up 2 walk-offs in the same series.
So
Jesse Winker.
I remember that series. I think Jay and I texted back and forth and was like, well, I don't have a problem. Like,
yeah.
I swear to God, I think that conversation happened.
Like, I'll be honest with you, the only person I'm not sorry for giving you, because you gave us 2 great prospects in return, for whatever God-forsaken reason, is Giovanni Soto. Like, you gave us 2
Gregory
almost
Soto.
top
Giovanni
pitching.
Soto was a catcher for the Cubs like 12 years ago, dude. What?
All right. Mistake.
That's cool.
Gregory Soto. Because, like I said, you gave us a now top 5 prospect in our system, and Seth Johnson, who obviously did not have a great major league pitching appearance, but
no. I think he shouldn't have pitched that last season.
There's always room for improvement. Like, I watched Ranger Suarez give up 14 runs in a doubleheader. Like, that was terrible to watch. It was like his first week in the majors, and he got shelled. But now he's a stud, and there's no reason why Johnson can't be on that same page.
Yeah.
But
can you imagine if Ranger has the same first half he did last year?
He started off great. But yeah, I mean Seth
it'd
Johnson,
be wonderful.
He's an interesting one, because he's someone, I mean, you look at that, we got him back for Trey Mancini, along with Chase McDermott, one of our other top pitching prospects. And Seth Johnson, for the longest time, we do not have much pitching in our system, but we kind of had our 3 top prospects as Cade Povich, Chase McDermott, and Seth Johnson. And Johnson always kind of seemed like the odd man out in the third in the trio. Cade Povich came up last year. McDermott got a shot last year. They were getting their mix, and Johnson there just really wasn't much going on with him. Not that he was doing bad. It's just like they didn't seem as interested in him having a real shot on the major league team. And I mean,
Jay, is that Mark Appel?
Sounds like it.
That's a good comp. Good job. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I mean, the other, honestly, I'm more worried about Moises Chaussee being great than him. Chaussee, he's one of the ones he is interesting. He has really good stuff, I think. I think he has more potential than Johnson. Johnson's never going to be better than a 5th starter. Oh. Chaussee, I think, could be a top high-end reliever if he needed to be. I think he has the stuff for that. Pitcher. A leverage reliever, yeah.
Wow.
I was going to say, because minor league baseball hasn't updated their top prospect list, just because I guess it's still too early. But when I saw his grades, I know his fastball was highly graded.
Yeah.
Like, I think he actually had one of like the top, because I think the top grade you can get for pitching is like an 80 for certain pitches. I think his fastball was easily 80. In the 80 range.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I mean, a guy with a good fastball is always necessary, but what's up with his secondary pitches?
Not a player comp to him, but just someone that's in a similar situation is in 22 or 23, whenever we traded Jorge Lopez to the Twins and we got back a couple different prospects and stuff, we got Yennier Cano back, who of course has been amazing. I think he has potential to be someone like that just a throw-in piece to a deal that didn't look that great, didn't have great numbers always. I think he has more potential to be a threat to the league than Seth Johnson. And that's no offense to Seth Johnson.
We'd be glad to give you Marte. So
that just shows you though how how desperate we were for pitching, though, for relief pitching last year. We were desperate. We were giving up. We gave up two of our huge prospects for a pitcher that pitched 2 games. We sent them to the minor leagues to do so bad.
Well, and then also, don't worry, we thought we needed relievers, so we just let like 2 of our best relievers from last year sign with other teams.
Stupid.
Baseball's got a weird way of handling shit. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true.
But that being said, I mean, do you boys have any final thoughts before we shut down the shop?
We appreciate you having us on, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hey,
absolutely.
Dude, great time. I want to do it again. This is a good time.
Yeah,
it's nice to talk baseball with other like-minded, sad people. So,
maybe Orioles play Phillies. We'll get on a week before that. That way we can discuss what we think's going to happen. So,
hell yeah. And then that'd be cool. If you boys want to come down, we'll get some tickets and we'll get it going.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, I'd enjoy that. Yep, absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Good luck this year. I don't know what else to say besides good luck because let's face it. I came right in at the end with like favorite opposite team. I mean, the Red Sox are mine, but I do love the Orioles because of the young guns. Good luck, guys.
You know who it is.
So,
I'm Jay. That's Rich. That is the Eutaw Street Banter. Cody and Elijah, thank you very much for tuning into this collaboration, and we will talk to you guys very soon.
Stay drunk, guys.